can't give the guys that do auto filming credit. This sucks.
Hey, good morning and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Colt. Today we're going to be doing some maintenance on equipment, and we're going to start off with the new to me 2012 Ram with a Cummins in it. And this is where she petered out on me, pulling across my shed here. And I'm hoping it's just gummed up fuel filters. The morning that I started it up, it was running fine, and then I heard it kind of surging, and then I was able to pull it out of my shop, and I got it to here. Like I said, this is where it died. So I'm going to start by swapping fuel filters on it, and then we're going to let it warm up and do an oil change. I also have a block heater to add into it. This truck was originally from Texas. The guy I bought it from bought it down in Texas. And so I assume the guy who bought it new just didn't spec it out with a block heater because he didn't need it. But on the 6.7 Cummins truck, they actually come with a heater element inside the block. And so I just had to buy the cord to plug in. So that should be an easy fix. So we're going to do that. And then hopefully if we have time today, we'll do the service on the new to me lift as well. So let's get into swapping these fuel filters quick. This has got an AirDog fuel pump on it. It's just like a lift pump that sends fuel to the CP3, the actual injector pump. It did look like there was a little water in there, so I guess that means that was doing its job. Came off easy enough. Isn't going. That should be right. There it went. Okay, maybe. It's cold in my hands. I'll let that fill up. So we just have basically tank pressure is filling this up. The same thing I have on my Duramax with my FAS. It's kind of good, kind of bad. Okay, gotta go warm my hands up. Okay, went and warmed my hands up. That really froze them. I think we're good. I think all that's next is to try and start it. Now, we don't have ideal conditions right now to do that. It is supposed to warm up to like 20 plus degrees today, which would be nice. Currently, it's like, I don't know, 5, 8, something like that. I think this was good. Those fuel filters look like they've been on there a while. I think I'm just gonna get a rag quick and wipe those filters up just so I can make sure we're not leaking at all quick. Not ideal spot to be doing this. I'll get it in my shop to do the oil change if and when she runs here in a sec. So I guess the next thing to try is starting this deal. Like I said, normally if I had to start it in these conditions, I would be running a block heater or something. We'll cycle the glow plugs a few times. All right, here goes. So far, so good. Doesn't mean anything yet. It started and ran for a while last time, then died. All right, I'll check in with you in a minute, tell you what it does here. All right, it's been 10 minutes. She's idling fine. I revved it up. Actually pulled forward just a little bit. It's blowing smoke through the eaves into my shop. So we're gonna let it run here. I gotta fire up the old Duramax now, get it out of the way so I can pull this in, and then we'll do the oil change quick. Well, surprise, surprise, the Duramax did not start. Batteries are weak on it. I put my jump pack on, but even that's been sitting out in the cold. So we've got a little charger on it now. Sorry about the noise with the heater. So I'll pull the 1 ton out and just bring the Cummins in here, and it'll be cozier, but we can do the service right in here. Here is the beauty of gas over diesel. I guarantee this old 5.4 will start in this cold. Yeah, no problem at all. So right now, because the Cummins died on me, I had the chip truck hooked to the big trailer. And I was hoping to not move this because I have my setup plugged in here. And I do have the heater running in the trailer right now. $28 in here. Just kind of wanting to warm the whole lift up so I could do the service on it. We could always do that tomorrow too, so shut her down in here. So here I'm just trying to decide if I want to come at the oil filter kind of through the wheel well area and take the liner off, or come from the top and kind of take the air intake off. And I actually end up deciding to do both of them just because I knew I needed to get the cord hooked up to the block heater as well. That thing came out like a raging torrent. A little better there. So while the oil's draining out of there, I'll go ahead and get this wheel well liner off quick so we can access under here. Definitely the way to access the filter, I think, a little bit better. There's the block block heater plug right there.
Man, I give the guys that do auto filming credit. This sucks. Lighting is crap always. It's interesting. So the cap on the heating element plug is threaded. When I watched how to do this, the guy said it wasn't. It was just a cap, so they got different versions. See that there? Probably not.
It's just a two-prong plug that kind of screws down over the element. So I ended up just running the other end of the plug out kind of on my brush guard bracket there, so it'll be a pretty handy spot to plug into.
Okay, I like that. It's hard to see where that cable's coming down, I realize, but let's get after this oil filter next. So I wound up loosening it from the bottom, but I'm going to try and pull it out the top. Okay, good.
Okay, new filter going in, oiled the ring. All right, let's get some new oil in this thing. She takes 3 gallons of 15W40. All right, let's start putting this thing back together. I'm gonna install the air intake boot here, just a few clamps, one on the bottom, one on top, and then just the air intake sensor as well. Last thing on the truck is just to reinstall this liner that we took off before.
All right, that's gonna do it on this old girl. And I was hoping to have time to get to the lift. I think I'll do that tomorrow, so we'll see if I have time to put that in this video or not. Okay, it's a new day, and we got the lift in here. I was able to get the Duramax started up, and I also got the lift started up. That took a little bit of effort, but it's been running now for probably half hour, 40 minutes. I had to obviously run the outriggers down and bring the lower boom up so I could turn it, get it out of the way, so I could access the engine compartment here. Can't even swing that thing down when it's in the stowed position. It's a little bit annoying. You got just barely enough room to open the cover so you can check the oil at least, but in order to service it, you got to swing it out. So now we got plenty of access all around here. My plan is to do oil change, coolant change, hydraulic change, obviously with the corresponding filters, fuel filters, and I got a block heater for it as well I want to install. Let's get into it.
So while we're letting that engine oil drain, we'll go ahead and attack the fuel filters. It has 2 of them on there, an inline kind of cheapo fuel filter, and then this one that we're working on now is the water separator. It has a element filter in it, and so this one just has kind of like a clear plastic bowl, I guess, and you just got a ring collar that you pop off in order to drop that bowl out of there, and then you can go up in there and take the element out. So when you do this, you want to make sure you clean out that element bowl as well.
Definitely got some crud in it.
Moving on to the inline filter now, and what I like to do with these is just use some hose clamps and clamp on either side of the filter. And then you can go ahead and remove the old filter. Then once you get that old filter off, what I like to do is install the new filter, I guess you'd say on the tank side first. So once I get that filter on, I'll pop the clamp off on that side and let tank pressure then just fill that inline filter up. Try and get as much air out of it as I can, and then you pop it back onto the other side, and of course remove the second clamp then. So now I'm just bleeding the air out of the fuel system. After changing the filters, there's a little 10mm bleeder screw on top of the water separator housing there. So you just pop that to allow the air out, and then once she stays running and no more air comes out, you tighten her back up.
She's dirty. I'm assuming there's a filter under here. I guess we actually have three. There'll be a filter in there. There's two down here. I'm assuming we have one for like the aerial and one for the ground controls. Alright. So it looks like it's at least over 5 gallons. So I got the 5-gallon pail here, and then I've got regular drain pan. Okay, there, we broke it loose. Good. All right, we're just gonna watch it here. All right, getting up there. I don't want to fill it right to the brim, so I'm gonna go 2, 3. I'll grab my other one now. Okay, there's the filter that came out. There's the new one. So obviously, I don't want to put this filter back in just yet. I gotta fill it up. I think you can see them canisters there. I think the bottom just screws off.
Yeah, ultimately I needed like a 30mm socket, I believe, to get the filter canisters off. But I had an adjustable wrench, so I'm under there now just trying to get it loose. They were quite tight, but I was able to get it loose and then get the rest of it from the top side. So my service manual didn't tell me the capacity of this hydraulic tank, so what I elected to do is just fill up 1 gallon at a time and pour it in. So that's why you see me dumping out of the 5-gallon pail 1 gallon at a time into this pitcher. And I ended up putting, I think, 11 or 12 gallons into it. All right, so I put the new filter in the tube. That spring is going to force that filter down. Okay, I like that. O-rings all look good. All right, let's start it up. I've never had it beep like that before. All right, I got all the covers on. I didn't notice it, but there must have been a proc switch somewhere that was hollering at me with the covers off. Because all I did was put the covers on now. The machine's not beeping at me anymore. So I think I'm gonna call that good. Thank you all for joining me. I wanna get the lift at least put back in the trailer for now. The only thing I didn't get done, like I said, is that block heater, which kind of sucks. I definitely wanna do that and obviously flush the coolant while I'm at it. So I think I need some sort of a retaining ring for the frost plug. I'm not sure. The only time I've ever put a block heater in before was a screw-in type, or like this Cummins, it was just the plug-in that already had the element in it. So we got a little bit of snow coming tonight, so I don't want to leave the chipper and chip truck out especially. So I want to get that pulled back in. So I'm going to wrap this all up, but that's going to do it for me for this video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'll leave a couple links at the end of this video to a couple more of my videos, and we'll catch you all in the next one. What a mess. Let's do something about this. Yeah, that's better.